22 report. May I know who is from SNSU? Sinong in charge sa disbursement of cash advances? May I know? May I ask the officer to please sit down here beside me so I can see your face? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning po, Your Honor.
Good morning. I will just ask you,
Yes po.
are you monitoring? You are the one who disburses the cash advances, correct?
Yes po.
And you know very well that there are provisions of the PD 1445 that prohibits the issuance of a cash advance if the previous cash advances were not liquidated. Is that correct?
Yes po.
And you are pretty much aware na may violation kapag ito ay itinuloy, ito ay nag-disburse ulit. Now, since you're the one in charge of disbursing these funds, do you know that there are officers or employees of the university that still has pending unliquidated cash advances, and yet you granted or issued a cash advance? You are familiar with that?
Yes po.
Can you please tell us, based on your list, kung sino yung mga yan na binigyan mo ng cash advances in spite of the fact na hindi pa sila nakakapag-liquidate?
I'm not sure po, Your Honor, kung may list po ako dito. Titingnan ko po.
So, wala kang dalang list?
Yes.
Sige, I will excuse you
Sorry
from
po.
submitting. But please submit to the committee
Yes.
the list of those who have pending cash advances because we want it stated for the record, Mr. Chair. So that when we write our committee report, wala ho tayong ma-miss out na mga details. Kagaya po nito, napaka-importante. And I'm sure COA is monitoring this. No?
Yes.
Do you know that because you issued additional cash advances to employees or officers who have not liquidated their previous advances, you are liable under the law?
Yes po.
Do you know what law have you violated? So you do not know?
COA rules po. The COA rules
The
and
COA
regulations po.
And if a COA rule, Ma'am COA, may I know if an officer such as the one, you are an SDO siya, no? And she's in charge of disbursing. May I know if the PD 1445 Section 89 was violated? What is the liability of the person in violating such?
Your Honor, accountant?
Yes po, ma'am.
Si accountant, Your Honor, nag-certify ng completeness ng documents
Yes,
ng
po.
liquidation. Kung hindi kompleto po yung documents, so may liability.
What does the law say about a violation of that? Yan ba ay may kulong? Yan ba ay may palakpak lang? Yan ba ay may... Ano ba? Ano ba ang penalty dyan?
As to non-compliance of the rules, laws, and regulations, posible siya, Your Honor, if mga procedural practices and process, pwede siyang may administrative as to not following those procedures, rules and procedures pertaining to whatever regulations, Your Honor.
And the administrative case carries with it a penalty of?
Kung na maalala, Your Honor.
What is the penalty for an administrative case?
Pwede siya masuspend, Your Honor.
So suspension.
Pwede, Your Honor.
And
the light, Your Honor.
Is there a criminal liability?
If Your Honor, if there is a grave an intent or uh may loss on the part of the government, Your Honor, that would ano na may criminal liability, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I just wanted to make this clear, no, na marami pong mga cash advances na nangyari na number one, walang specified purpose na kung saan ay makikinabang ang buong university. Pangalawa, there seems to be a wanton disregard for law. And because there is a disregard and a violation of our laws, therefore, may katumbas po yan na kaparusahan. Diba? I just wanted that on record so that I'm sure hindi lang naman si Miss Gay ang gumawa niyan. No? I am sure she would not have done this alone in that university if not for the pressure applied to her at campus development project. Obligated funds totaling to 4.3 million were returned to CHED after the prescribed period. As a result, students were deprived of the benefits that could have been derived from the facilities intended for this project. Now, who can best answer this? Wala dito si Dr. You're the Vice President. Now, can you walk us through about this Smart Campus project?
That time po I was the campus director pa po. I don't have the knowledge pa po, Mr. Chair, on that particular project po.
So you don't have a knowledge of the Smart Campus project?
Kasi that time po is I was still at Siargao del Carmen campus po as campus director po.
But it was a program of the CHED for the whole university regardless of where your campus is.
I think that's we have the focal person for that po, the ICT
Sige,
people.
sino ang focal person?
Si Engineer Mangka po.
Engineer?
Darwin Mangka po.
Si engineer ba, is he present? Or he's not present? Sige.
Darwin Mangka.
Comsec, may I ask that in the next hearing, we invite engineer? Okay, thank you. So, who would now be the best person to educate us with this Smart Campus project? Wala si Gamboa. Wala si engineer. You're not yet the Vice President at that time. So who would now see? So admin. Who is the admin? Sige nga, tingnan nga natin kung who is competent to educate us with the Smart Campus project. Sino po ito? O yung mga smart dyan? Wala bang smart dyan that can educate us here?
Your Honor, we have here the Vice President for Administration, Dr. Rowena Bing A. Plando. Can you please take your seat in the panel?
So yan, on the screen is the amount of 24 million for this project, the Smart Campus Development Project. 11 million was spent purchase of learning management system and financial information system. No, may I ask our admin officer, Dr. Plando? Ano ba itong purchase of learning management system?
Good morning, good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I am Dr. Rowena Plando, the Vice President for Administration. Now, regarding the Smart Campus po, there was an instruction from the CHED to to return the money, the 4 million money, because there's the 4.313 million was returned to CHED after the lapse of the prescribed period po. And then this was already implemented, and we have already returned the money of 4,313,000 po.
You returned it because you don't need it?
Based on the observation po that oo.
Now, I'd like to introduce first Dr. Roberto Buenaflor to inform this committee of the shenanigans committed by this Dr. Gamboa, if the chair would allow that, Mr. Chair. So I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Roberto Buenaflor. No? May we be informed as to the credentials of this Mr. Gamboa, Mr. Buenaflor?
A very pleasant noon to our honorable chair of the committee and members. I am the retired Professor 6 of the Surigao State College of Technology, then now Surigao del Norte State University, and being the director.
Can you speak
For admin.
closer to the mic, please?
Having been the director of the Quality Assurance and Management System, the evaluation of the NBC 461 was assigned to me as the executive chief. Just for a brief, Your Honor, the NBC 461, which is actually the basis upon which its faculty will be reclassified from a certain position to higher position, academic ranks.
So this is required before a promotion is implemented, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please continue.
Yes, po. So having these two components of the NBC 461, the first is we are going to have the CCE, meaning the community, the common criteria evaluation, in which case there are areas like the highest educational attainment and others. The issue now that we found out in the credentials of Dr. Gamboa belong to the QCE, the other component, which means qualitative contribution evaluation, because it requires evaluation of Dr. Gamboa by his students. The cut-off date of the NBC 461 7A cycle covered from July 1, 2013 to June 30, 2016, in which case Dr. Gamboa was still in Cebu Technological University. So it is but proper that the evaluators must be those students of the Cebu Technological University. Being responsible in reviewing the documents, I discovered when we were in the zonal center in University of Southern Philippines in Cagayan de Oro. That is the zonal center of SUCs in Caraga. So when we brought those documents, they want to have a sample of the QCA results to find out whether they are qualified. But because these folders are heavy, we place it in the bag. So when I pulled it, the documents were scattered, the folders. It is then that I discovered the names of the students who evaluated Dr. Gamboa during 2013 to 2016. And I found out that the names of the students familiar to me were from Del Carmen, Siargao, not from Cebu. So it really gave me a question of why was he able to do that? So I immediately went over the documents. And I found out really that these are the names of the students of Del Carmen, Surigao, Del Norte, Surigao State College of Technology campus. So for me, it's not, there is dishonesty. When
Dr. Benaflor, you still have words, no? Before he became president of SNSU, where did he come from?
from Cebu Technological University,
And he was then a professor there.
associate professor yet, associate professor 5.
Okay. Did the Cebu Technology, something like that, found out the credentials of Dr. Gamboa during that time? Was he qualified to be a professor in that university too?
I do not know because we are, it's already in our campus, sir, Your Honor, that the evaluation for NBC 46178A cycle responsible for evaluating. But we are going to have the records coming from the Cebu Technological University. After the CCE evaluation came out that he is qualified to be as Professor 3. So that means there are 3 academic ranks that he can be promoted. But this has to be qualified yet by the qualitative contribution evaluation to qualify that his CCE result really deserved to be in that position. So we are expecting that the evaluation during the time 2013-2016 was coming from the Cebu Technological University. But we were surprised when we discovered that the documents were coming from Del Carmen. I have the question, why is it that the students who do not know even Dr. Gamboa were made to evaluate Dr. Gamboa? So there is some kind of dishonesty and falsification of public document that made him to hold the Professor 3. So I cannot believe on this. In fact, one of the students is here to testify that he was one who evaluated Dr. Gamboa. There was a falsification of the credentials made as far as the evaluation criteria is considered, because our instrument where the items placed upon which the students are going to rate is already with the heading of the Cebu Technological University.
When did Dr. Gamboa become president of the SNSU?
That was then January 6, 2016.
How did he become president?
There was a search. There was a search. He applied.
He has appointed. He applied. He was appointed
Yes, by
whom?
the board. By the board.
by the board of.
The board of trustees. Board of trustees then, because it's not a university, it was not a university yet.
Of the NSU and
SNSU.
Okay. So he was appointed. Ibig sabihin niyan, it was the board that actually determined the qualification.
Yes, based on the submission of the documents. But during that time, there was no NBC 461 yet, 7A.
Okay, continue. You can continue.
Shall I continue?
Please continue.
Okay. So with that, I asked some of faculty whether all these documents were actually made by the students in evaluating Dr. Gamboa. And they agreed that these were students who evaluated Dr. Gamboa.
So, meaning, they're not students from Cebu who was supposed to have given their evaluation of Gamboa.
Yes po.
In this case, these were students from Surigao del Norte, specifically in Siargao Island.
Yes po.
And who made them do that? How were they able to get students from Surigao del Norte and Del Carmen campus to evaluate Dr. Gamboa, who probably they did not know from Adam? Sinong responsible dyan?
That time, the chairman of the NBC 461 in campus is Dr. Romijon Sonico. He's here, and he was in charge there in bringing the documents of the QCE.
Okay.
Okay, so
So meaning, si Dr. Sunico ang kumuha ng students that evaluated si Dr. Gamboa. Tama?
most likely, because I don't have any personal knowledge other than having only the documents in my possession.
Sige. Dr. Sunico,
Mr.
are you
Chair,
responsible in getting those students to evaluate Dr. Gamboa, whom they have not even probably met or seen?
I would like to manifest, Mr. Chair, that I was not the QC in charge of the campus that time.
And
Oh,
who
I'm
was in
only
charge that time?
in charge of the CCE.
Who was in charge of the QCE in Del Carmen campus at that time?
At that time, Mr. Elwin Argana po.
Erwin,
Elwin Argana po.
Comsec, can you please take note of this person, and can we invite him in the next committee hearing?
Noted, Your Honor.
So, andito siya? O, halika rito at umupo ka rito.
Mr. Elwin Argana, please sit in the panel.
You heard what we were discussing, right?
Good afternoon. Yes po, Your Honor.
Are you naka-oath ka ba?
Yes po. Yes.
Okay, did you, so when you heard, no, what Dr. Sunico said, he mentioned your name as the one who was the QCE head at the time when Dr. Gamboa was evaluated.
Yes po, Your Honor. For
Did you have a
QC.
hand on the evaluation of Dr. Gamboa?
Wala po, Your Honor.
And bakit nagkaroon ng evaluation yung mga estudyante doon?
I was designated po, Your Honor, Honorable Chair po na as QCE focal last January 8, 2018. Then my role was simply to facilitate po the documents from 2013 to 2016 of the Del Carmen campus faculty. Preparation po for the submission to the city campus before we move on to Cagayan de Oro City. And then I was not able to conduct any evaluation because the evaluation should be conducted before the semester ends. And that would be, dapat yun is gagawin ko every March po.
So, ibig sabihin, you did not have any hand at all in getting all these students that evaluated Mr. Gamboa.
As far as my, I remember and as far as memory po and my knowledge po, and as far as my office are concerned po is there was no evaluation conducted by my office po.
And in this case, because there were already documents stating that several students in the Del Carmen campus evaluated si Dr. Gamboa with a flying color, mind you. So who could have been behind the students who picking the students that evaluated Dr. Gamboa? Sino ang behind dyan?
Your Honor, personally po is I do not have any knowledge po considering that my task is simply to facilitate lang po the documents because Again, I was designated po January 8, 2018, and the evaluation was conducted on February 28, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the report of the zonal center.
Okay, sige.
Thank you po.
Why is Dr. Sunico pointing at you?
Dr. Sunico, I think he pointed me out because I was the one who facilitated the documents po for Del Carmen Campus faculty po.
So based on his naming you, I think he's telling this committee na ikaw ang in charge sa pagkuha ng mga estudyante that evaluated Dr. Gamboa. Do you admit to that?
I think I would not agree po,
Oh,
Honorable Chair po.
Now,
Mr.
you
Chair,
heard what Dr. Sunico said.
what I am manifesting, Mr. Chair, that I am only the in charge of the CCE po that time, and Mr. Elwin is the in charge of the QCE po. Because under NBC po, there are two components po, the
Yeah,
CCE and the
well,
QCE
Kita
po.
mo dalawa kayo dyan na taga Del Carmen Campus. The students who evaluated wrongly si Dr. Gamboa are students from Del Carmen Campus. At wala sa inyong dalawa na taga Del Carmen Campus na umaamin na kayo ang nagpa-evaluate kay Dr. Gamboa. It is not you, according to you. Sabi mo kanina si Mr. Argana. Sabi naman ni Mr. Argana, I was just appointed in 2019 of February of
2018 po, Your Honor.
2018. So sa iyong palagay, sino ang behind?
I do not have any knowledge po. Honorable Chair, considering po that my designation is simply focusing lang po sa faculty po ng Del Carmen Campus po.
Okay, we have here a student, Mr. Chair, that I asked to come to testify before this committee that he was pressured and he was made to sign a document pertaining to the flying colors na evaluation ni Dr. Gamboa. So, Mr. May I see, I cannot see your name. Mr. Isagani. Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask Mr. Isagani what he knows about this issue on the evaluation of Dr. Gamboa. Mr. Isagani, anong masasabi mo?
Hello po, Mr. Chair. Actually po, nung time po na lumabas po yung pangalan ko is nagulat po ako kasi wala po kami, actually nung time po na nagpa-evaluate po si Sir sa amin is nung time na yon is wala po talaga kaming ka-idea kasi hindi naman po namin talaga ganun kakilala po si Sir Gamboa.
Sino ang nagkuha sa iyo na mag-evaluate?
Si Sir Jun po.
Sinong Sir Jun?
Si Sir Jun Sunico po.
Oh, ikaw naman pala eh. Kanina, you were denying your involvement. Mamaya, I will ask you. Sige, please continue.
Nangyari po yung pag-evaluate po ni Sir Jun po is sa RIS 2 po. So, bali, nung time na yun, Mr. Chair, is akala po namin magkaklase po siya kasi may dala po siyang para akala ko po kasi nung time na yun is po siya, parang test paper. Pero, nung time na yun po, nung time na binigay na po sa amin yung evaluation po, is ang sabi lang po niya is mag-evaluate po kami, sulat po namin yung pangalan ni Sir Gamboa, and then tapos may kaklase pa po ako nung nagtanong, kaso lang hindi ko lang po maalala kung sino po yun. Basta ang sabi po nung kaklase ko is pipirmahan po ba daw namin to? Sabi niya yes. Tapos sabi naman din po ni Sir Sir Jun is hindi daw po yun makakalabas. Parang ganun po yung
Hindi makakalabas.
Yes po.
Ibig sabihin, sikreto ito.
Yes po.
Hindi makakalabas, hindi malalaman kung ano yung pangalan nyo.
Yes po.
Ilan kayo?
Hindi ko po kasi tanda talaga kung ilan po kami. Basta marami po kami nun.
Marami.
Mr. Chair.
So if I show you the names of the persons
Yes,
or the students who sign the evaluation form, matatandaan mo sila.
Opo, opo.
Secretariat, can you flash the names of those who evaluated Dr. Gamboa? So, kinausap ka ni Dr. Sunico.
Hindi po.
Sino ko mausap sa'yo?
Actually po wala pong kumausap sa amin. Basta nandun lang po kami sa RIS, and then kasi ano po yun dapat yung time na yun is magkaklase po siya.
But teka, bakit ka kinuha ni Mr. Zunico?
Actually po sir, wala po talaga
Paano kanya napili na kunin?
Basta ang ano po, pagkakatanda ko lang po talaga nun is nandun po kami sa RIS kasi naghihintay po kami sa kanya para magklase po, parang ganun po.
Para alin? Para maglabi?
Para magklase po.
Magklase.
Opo, kasi
So, kilala ka ba ni Dr. Zunico?
Yes po.
So, kilala ka niya?
Opo.
Matagal ka na ba niya kilala?
Opo.
So, ibig sabihin, kaya kanya kinuha sapagkat matagal ka na niya kilala.
Actually po, hindi niya po ako kinuha.
Asahin mo kanina, si Chang kumuha sa'yo.
Kasi ano po nandun lang po kasi kami talaga sa sa RIS. Kasi yung mga yung mga kaklase ko
Ano yung RIS?
ano po siya, parang computer lab. Parang doon po nagkaklase yung mga instructor po namin.
Ilang kayong kinuha?
Hindi ko po matandaan kung ilan po kami noon Basta ang alam ko marami po kaming nag-evaluate po.
O sinong pumili sa'yo para mag-evaluate?
Wala po.
Wala pa. Wala.
Wala po.
So paano ka napunta ron sa evaluation committee, for example? Kung hindi, kanina binanggit mo na ang kumuha sa'yo si Dr. Zunico. Pero ngayon, binabanggit mo, hindi kanya kinuha.
Wala po talagang kumuha sa akin.
So paano ka naging member doon? Paano?
Ano lang po,
Paano ka
basta
naging involved?
parang ang nangyari lang po talaga noon nung pumasok na po si Sir Jun is parang on the spot po is nag-evaluate po yung mga kaklase ko pati ako po. Parang ganun po yung nangyari.
On the spot?
Yes po.
So thank you, Mr. Chair. So hindi mo matandaan kung ilang kayo.
Yes po. Hindi ko po matandaan. Kasi matagal na po kasi yun
Pero nakita mo ba kung ano yung nakalagay doon sa evaluation?
Yes po.
Anong nakalagay?
Parang magre-rate lang po kami, tapos bibilugan lang po namin. Kasi bali may nakalagay po doon na 1 to hanggang 5. Tapos parang may nakasulat kung hindi ko lang matandaan kung ano yon. Basta ang alam ko lang is parang magre-rate kami ng kung parang ang ko is i-rate namin siya kung parang parang kung nasatisfy po ba kayo yung ganun.
Sige. Okay, so marami kayo ha?
Yes po.
Okay. Mr. Dr. Zunico, what can you say about that?
I would like to ask po, Mr. Chair, if what particular date po yung pagpapirma at what particular semester po?
No. You cannot ask the resource person. You ask the chair. You cannot go straight to the resource persons. That's not allowed.
Yes,
under the
Mr.
rules.
Chair po. I'm asking.
So, tanungin lang, ang tanong mo ay anong semester?
Ano pong date at saka nung semester po?
Okay. Is it material?
Yes po, kasi baka po may inconsistency po on the date po at saka semester po.
Hindi. Ang sinabi nga nila ay in-evaluate si Dr. Gamboa as a prerequisite doon sa kanyang appointment as a as Professor 3. Where you played a very important role. Are you close to Dr. Gamboa?
My boss po, our president po.
Do you have a relationship with Dr. Gamboa?
No po, just plain professional po.
So, do you know that Dr. Gamboa to you? Do you know that he is a competent or incompetent president of the university? To you, tanungin kita, anong tingin mo?
So far po, he's doing good naman po in terms of accreditation and for our application for universityhood.
Well, it seems that because he has probably been lenient with allowing you to spend money of the university without following the rules, no? So, sige. We'd like to ask also Mrs. Maristela Ruaya. Ano pong masasabi naman ninyo, Mrs. Ruaya?
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair. Ako po yung college registrar designate starting to the 2016 hanggang December 2021.
You have retired already?
Hindi pa po.
Hindi pa. So you're still a...
Yes,
Okay.
active pa po sa
Active,
service.
okay.
Pure faculty po.
Okay, so you're a member of the faculty in
Yes
the Del Carmen campus?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay. So,
Partner, can I just say something? Alam nyo,
di ba?
Yes, Your
And then the
Honor.
next step is if they are not able to liquidate it properly, then ND na siya.
Kasi when it comes to liquidation, Your Honor, merong joint kasi na yung sa ombudsman, Your Honor, we will forward it to
The
the
ombudsman.
refer to the fraud division and then they will refer it to
Okay.
ombudsman.
Ito, tanong lang, no? Assuming yung nag-cash advance ay biglang nag-retire o hindi kaya passed away. And his cash advance, let's say for instance lang, just for purposes of discussion, nag-cash advance siya ng 1 million pesos. Paano ngayon yan? May habol pa ba ang gobyerno?
May habol pa, Your Honor. Actually, Your Honor, this is our predicament. The common issues talaga ng mga observations namin, Your Honor, yung mga nag-retire na, deceased, separated from office, meron kaming mga remarks dyan sa mga status ng mga accountable officers. And as of, based on our, data lang, Your Honor, naka-ano lang talaga yan siya, naka-pending lang talaga siya as to the status.
So you will still ask the retired employee to liquidate.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if they will not comply,
It's at the level of that, Your Honor, it's not already sa level ng team. That is already forwarded sa regional office and we have a different division for that, Your Honor.
and for purposes of discussion, halimbawa, nag-pass away naman yung tao na merong unliquidated cash advance. What do you now do? Kasi, di ba, may prescribed period as to when they should liquidate all these cash advances.
Yes, sir.
And if they do not comply with that, paano?
Merong regulation si COA, Your Honor, regarding write-off, request for write-off.
So, who will request for the write-off? The university, in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, yung management kasi if may mga required documents to be complied if they will request for write-off for that, Your Honor.
Are you certain about your response, your reply, ma'am?
When it comes to request for write-off, Your Honor, may mga documentary requirements needed. For example, the effort that they exerted to collect the unliquidated cash advance and other action taken by management to satisfy that they really exerted their effort to collect the unliquidated cash advance.
Let's just say, for the sake, again, of argument, na halimbawa, yung pong nag-cash advance, no, na hindi siya nag-liquidate within a certain period prescribed by law, no, at kinol nyo yung attention. Meron kayong AOM, no, sinabi nyo na dapat i-liquidate nyo ito. And then suddenly this person passes away. No? So, ang ibig bang sabihin nito, yung university, the next president, assuming the president is the one that I'm referring to. And then another president sits na kakaibigan o kakampi nitong presidenteng ito. And suddenly requests that the cash advance, unliquidated cash advances will be written off, is that allowed?
No, Your Honor.
So still, may pananagutan pa rin yung university.
Yes, Your
And it is now incumbent to the university to liquidate.
Yes, Your Honor, to exert effort so that the unliquidated cash
Within
advance be
a
settled.
time frame of gaano katagal?
Kasi supposedly, per guidelines, Your Honor, if it's cash advance within 30 days, dapat ma-liquidate na kasi yan yung mga cash advance. So yun, nag-exceed na yun kasi, Your Honor. So, ano na talaga?
Sige.
Due and
So,
demandable.
Okay, sige. I will again give you another example. Halimbawa, I'm referring kunyari to Dr. Gamboa. Meron siyang unliquidated cash advances, di ba? Until now, no? Because the findings, the audit report were done in 2021 to 2022. It's already 2024. Actually, close to 2025. Hanggang ngayon, wala pang liquidation. So, mukhang
Yes,
hindi
Your Honor.
sumusunod
Yun,
sa...
per book kasi, Your Honor, yung unliquidated cash advance, that would be treated as accounts receivable kasi yan. So nakabook yan as receivable. Kailangan talagang makolekta yan sa kanya. Whatever, kung meron siyang mga like benefits or whatever, that would be right lang, Your Honor, na it would be deducted from the proceeds or whatever benefits that he can receive from the university.
Okay. Those cash advances were made at a certain year, correct? And then the subsequent years ay merong additional cash advances na naman, no? Now, are you familiar with the provisions of the Section 89 of the PD 1445?
If mabasa ko, Your Honor, familiar ko
Let
yan,
me
Your
read
Honor.
that to you.
Yes,
ma'am,
Your
no?
Honor.
So, PD 1445, also known as the Government Auditing Code of the Philippines, states no additional cash advance shall be allowed to any official or employees unless the previous cash advances given to them are first settled.
Yes, Your Honor, that is one of the guidelines pertaining to cash advance.
Now, in this case, marami hong nag-cash advance dyan na hindi pa ho naliliquidate, hindi pa ho nasasubmit, pero meron hong subsequent cash advances.
Yes, Your Honor.
Isn't that a clear violation of the law?
Very clear violation of the law, Your Honor. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, I have mentioned, talagang continuing talaga ang monitoring namin when it comes to management's compliance as to the grant of cash advance and liquidations. Kung sa Bisaya pa, Your Honor, starring perminti sa annual audit report talaga, Your Honor, yung mga deficiencies ng management when it comes to cash advance and unliquidated cash advance.
So you are also in the position that dapat kasuhan sa ombudsman.
Yes, Your Honor, we have anong tawag nito, Your Honor, a joint circular at Your Honor from COA, Ombudsman and Civil Service, Your Honor, when it comes to if the cash advance are already above 50,000 and not liquidated within 30 days, those data will be submitted to the regional office, and we have a fraud audit division or legal office who will forward those data to Ombudsman, and it's the Ombudsman's action, Your Honor.
So at least that's very clear, ma'am, no, na when this committee terminates this committee hearing, we will recommend the filing based on the legal department of COA's recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Definitely.
maraming salamat po, ma'am. Now, specifically in the SNSU, ma'am, no? Why were cash advances totaling to 296,000 plus granted to 9 officers and employees for travel expenses in 2022 despite their existing outstanding cash advances? Meron pa hong outstanding, hindi pa ho naliliquidate, and then they were granted again another cash advance. Hindi po ba klaro violation niya ng batas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, in that case, we can also recommend the filing of cases before the Office of the Ombudsman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, at
On
least
that
that is
basis
clear.
po.
And itong mga officers na ito o yung mga empleyado na meron pong unliquidated cash advances ay hanggang ngayon empleyado pa rin ng ating state university. Competence of the former president of the university, but his involvement and his employees' involvement and his co-conspirators in wasting government public funds. In this case, ma'am, malinaw po na klarong-klaro na inabuso ang paggamit ng kaba ng bayan, Mr. Chairman. So again, may I ask to please yung 2022 COA report. Can we flash this? Ito na ba to? Or can you, may I ask?
Congressman Barbers, can I just,
Yeah.
Ms. Samolod, kayo magre-recommenda sa ombudsman, correct? You will
Your
be
Honor,
the one recommending.
yeah, on our level, Your Honor, the audit team and supervisory level, we will gather all the data, Your Honor, and we will forward it to the regional office. And it's because our level, Your Honor, it's only recommendatory, and the approval and final, Your Honor, is the left sa regional office. And then if ever, sir, after regional office, sa central
Okay.
office, Your
Your
Honor.
level is only recommendatory
Recommendatory,
to
Your-
the regional office.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then afterwards, regional office will what?
Forward it to Ombudsman, Your Honor.
To the ombudsman na, the regional office. Okay, so are you finished with your investigation or not yet?
Since it's already in the annual audit reports, Your Honor, and the requirements kasi, Your Honor, sa yung mga 50,000 ano ba? Pag ang requirements ng mga data is yung mga nag-accumulate na 50,000 and above, yun kasing forward namin sa regional office. But as of now, we have not yet forwarded it to the regional office, Your Honor.
But you have started, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, when what's the timeline in which you will be finished with the investigation, for example? So that you could be able to recommend na sa regional director.
Actually, Your Honor, we have a quarterly monitoring of those unliquidated cash advances. And this will be submitted actually to the regional office, the continuous monitoring of those unliquidated cash advances.
If there are unliquidated advances that these people have made, and then they're able to get another advance, you could be able to find out if you dig deeper, baka mas marami pa kayo magkita at makuha.
Yes, Your Honor. We will appreciate your recommendation.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So dito po, asan na ba yun? Yung 2022 report.